Wilkinson invented winning. And here at Oklahoma, we uphold the standard. This is the Champion Standard Podcast, where analytics meet film and the tailgate fuels the passion. Touchdown! From deep dives in the film room to advanced stats that tell the real story. Ready? We bring Sooner football into focus like never before. The roar of the palace on the prairie, the legacy of champions, and the pursuit of the next one. It's all right here. So lock in, because this is Oklahoma football. This is the Champion Standard.
Let's go!
Let's go! Go!
Hey, Sooner fans. Another huge victory yesterday. Huge victory. We make it to that important 10th win. Probably clinch a playoff spot. I think it's safe to say we're safely in at this point. Whether we host or not, we'll see. But Rob and I will break it all down next.
That's my standard. That's my standard. My champion standard. Champion standard. Pull up with the answers. Yeah, the answers. Champion standard. Champion standard. Yeah, yeah.
And before we get going, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button wherever you find us on your socials. We would greatly appreciate it. Never a doubt yesterday, Rob. Never a doubt, right? Yeah, we yeah, I think I think you're muted there for a second.
Go.
Yeah. No, yeah, just you could tell our our playoff hopes were on the brink there late in that game. Kind of dug ourselves in a hole. Mateer, those 3 picks, costly picks. Yeah, easy win I see there in the chat. But he rebounded in the fourth quarter. Made a couple of plays. His receivers made a couple of plays. Somehow scored 14 points there in the fourth quarter and snuck out a victory. Couple of huge plays by Bowen as well.
Oh yeah, dude, that guy he's given himself a great season, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah,
he's everywhere.
Yeah. Mateer's first pick, fortunately Mateer's able to kind of run him down and push him out at the 5, and we keep him out of the end zone and not even a field goal try. Just Peyton makes a huge play there, and you talking about a huge momentum swing early in the game. That was one right there. But yeah, defense still the show again. They just keep putting up huge performances. It's I think we can easily say it now that we've made it through all 12 games. This defense ranks right up there with some of those early 2000 teams. It's definitely on that level. So, yeah, great.
Yeah, it is.
They're good, man. Really good. Looks like we're playoff bound.
The defense showed out.
Yeah, got that. Needed that 10th win. We were sitting at 6-2 a month ago, and we made the 4-0 run in November that we needed. And I didn't feel good about sweeping all those games in November after that Ole Miss loss, but here we are. Somehow we put it all together when we needed to here at the end of the season. Just a great stretch of football. So I guess we wait. Is it next Sunday when the playoff selection happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Sunday at like 6 Central or something like that.
Is it late? Okay.
Sunday selection. Yep.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm just worried about someone slipping ahead of us and us going on the road for that opening round potentially. But I hope it kind of stays like it is and we end up maybe hosting a Notre Dame or someone else. I think that would be ideal.
Yeah.
But got a few takeaways if we want to get into those.
Yeah. Let's do it.
First one I already mentioned, 4 in a row here in November. I guess some people are calling it a November to remember. Beat 3 ranked teams, 2 on the road. Just impressive. It feels like one of those things where we've had some bad luck the last couple of years, but the football gods kind of blessed us this last month a little bit. All the pivotal things that we needed to happen this last month just kind of happened and fell into place. So just a great month of football. And I know we're not done. Yeah, Sooner Ace. I don't think anyone felt good about sweeping November. Yeah, amen. You could have probably talked to 10 different people and maybe 2 of them felt good about sweeping all 4, right?
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I don't know the last time, we finished the season, just winning all 4 games like that and taking so much momentum into the postseason. But it seems to be really helping recruiting. Signing days Wednesday, I think Wednesday through Friday already. It's very early this year. So what a better time to win a football game and get people's attention. And anybody that wants to play defense right now, where do you think they're looking? There's probably not a better team playing defense in the country right now. But yeah, second takeaway, defense. We already talked about it. Some huge stops again yesterday. Peyton Bowen, I know he had that 1 interception. Did he also have that tip on that 4th down there at the very last play of the game? Was that also Peyton, or was that someone else? I can't remember.
I thought it was Peyton.
Was it Peyton? So just 2 huge plays. I looked at the stats this morning, and it looks like we ended up the season defensively giving up 13.67 points a game for all games, which led the SEC.
Wow.
It led now that's not conference only, that's all 12 games, but 13 points a game. And I don't even think it was close. I think the next closest team was like 16, 17, something like that. So defense just keeps doing their thing. We're a good offense away from, making a run potentially in the playoffs. So I'm hoping they can kind of find some footing here these next 3 weeks. Talked about Mateer a little bit. Had those 3 picks, first 3 quarters, and just was having, just a terrible game. I don't know how else you can put it. That maybe that 3rd interception was probably one of the worst, where the guy already had inside position and he just basically threw it right to him. Just was having an awful game. Apparently, from what I understand, Kip Lewis came over to Mateer when the 4th quarter started and told him that he's going to have to win the game for us. Pretty much challenged him and told him it was on his shoulders to go win the game for us. And he did. So I think that's good, that he can bounce back like he did. Because that was looking like an awful performance. So it was going to, have us just looking for a bowl game.
Yeah. The first interception, defense made a play. Bat down, pick, whatever. That. I mean, that's making a play. The second interception, he got baited into it. They were, LSU was running all this like middle of the field open coverages, like you cover 2, cover 4, and all that. And that safety you had, it was a cover 3 rotation, and you baited Mateer into throwing that football. What we ran on that play, I believe it was Canic, kind of a Y cross variant of a through route. Basically, you're running like a Y cross, but because you're getting so much middle of the field open, you tell your receivers, "Hey, cut up and split that field in half." Another good play by the defense, honestly. Like
Yeah.
Mateer probably should have held it for a split second more to see if that safety was truly in a deep half or a cover 2 look, but it was obvious with his eyes and his hips that he was creeping into that middle of the field to try to bait him to making that throw. The LSU's defense is really good. Like, they're a really good defense. Just like Missouri, they had that coverage bust later in the game that
Mhm.
cost them, and that's the reason why they're not considered like an OU defense is because they bust. And the same reason for like Ole Miss and these other defenses, and that's why OU stands out is because we don't really bust coverages like that on our back end. I mean, we kind of did last year. This year, it's been very few and far between. So, kind of got baited there on that second one, and that third one was just really stupid. Like, it was just
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
Like, there was no indication there for him to throw that football.
Um,
What he should have done, I mean, if you're like, "Okay, I know this is man." I believe, and we've said it here on this podcast before, when he sees man coverage like that, especially on the boundary side, he is going to take it. Like, he's going to give his guy a chance. On that, he didn't see Giovanni get stonewalled on the line of scrimmage. Like, the defender literally struck him in his chest, and all of Giovanni's momentum just stopped. And then it was dead. It was dead. The play was dead. John needs to learn when you see a guy with that inside leverage like that, and you've got that football because you're gonna take it, you have to sail it. You sail it into the stands and you go to another play. There's a difference of a 50-50 ball and giving your guy a chance
mhm.
and a dude that just got I mean, Giovanni did not have a good game in my opinion. So I mean, but those corners are physical. They play all that stuff, physical brand of football. I get it. But Mateer needs to just sail it. Just
Yeah.
sail it there and go to the next play.
Yeah. Yeah. And really didn't even throw it up like a 50-50 ball. He threw it on such a line
No.
drive that only one guy had a chance to catch it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so glad he bounced back. And I'm really glad that LSU had a busted coverage yesterday at a crucial point in the game
I
because
I know.
Satania couldn't have been more open.
Yeah, and I think it was I don't know. I was looking at that coverage for LSU, and it looked like it wasn't the safety's fault. It looked like it was the nickel's fault. Everyone else is playing man coverage. Everyone, like the corners, on the other side, all of them are playing man coverage, and the nickel just lets the guy go. And so he thought it was some sort of zone or some sort of, different quarters, rule check or whatever. That safety rolls over to the field side, and that nickel doesn't carry Sategna, and he's just wide open with 50 yards of grass all over all across.
Yeah, that was something. You're right. Sooner ace. LSU secondary. We know they have athletes all over the field. That's never been an issue at LSU, right? So they came in. Defense was actually their probably better side of their ball, which kind of surprised us when the season started. We thought LSU would be really good on offense and defense was suspect, and it kind of flipped for them this year. So no, there's another barn burner coming down to the end. Fourth takeaway, BV has created this culture in this locker room. That's just, people our motto right now, and I guess they've made the t-shirts, hard to kill. We're just a very gritty, just this team just has so much fight in them. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
And he's created that. And now that he's created this culture and laid this foundation, those things aren't really hard. Those things are really hard to build. and sustain. But once you get a locker room like that, it's very infectious and can stick around for a long time.
Yep.
If you get the culture, get the foundation going, and then just make the subtle changes, which we'll talk about the changes that need to be made after the season's over. I don't really want to get into that right now. I kind of want to just enjoy our playoff berth, our 10 wins, celebrate that, go to the playoffs, see what we can do. And then we'll discuss what probably blatantly obvious to most people, the changes that maybe need to be made.
Right.
But yeah, he's created a crazy good culture. I just, there's probably a couple of bad seeds in the locker room. I can think of one. I'm not going to throw his name out there, but he's very overpaid right now. Just a bunch of good guys that just play hard, play as a unit. I went and looked, we don't have a lot of guys that have a ton of huge stats on like the defensive side of the ball, but
No,
as a group of 11 players, I mean, you can't find a better unit or group. So it's very impressive just what he's created in a short amount of time. Players love him. I think he was a little bit emotional yesterday, which, he's went through it the last 4 years. And so he's just as much, excited as the players are, of course. I did want to, go ahead.
Maybe
Sorry.
one guy that I feel like kind of is standing out is Taylor Wine. I mean, I'm pretty sure he lead the team in TFLs and sacks, I think.
Mm-hmm. TFLs for
So,
sure. I just checked that.
I mean, it's still spread out, but I think he's taken advantage of all the opportunities that he's been given, man. Like some of the plays he's made is just phenomenal, especially run defense. Run defense, you don't really see. I mean, the TFLs, you kind of see it, but there's been so many plays where it's just stonewalled at like the 1 and 2 yard line, like over and over again. And it's the interior, of course, but Wine comes in and does a lot of dirty work to make a play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably been one of the biggest. I mean, we heard about his name through the off season and everything. We're like, sure, okay, this is our Mason Thomas's team, and then here he comes, and it's same with Heineke where he comes out of nowhere. There's just a lot of guys, and I think you kind of mentioned the culture and everything, and this defense is going to be a defense that reloads. Like they're on fire right now with the evals and the development and everything is on par to be able to reload just like those great Alabama defenses in the mid 2000s,
Clemson,
or those 2010s
as
or
well.
whatever.
Yeah. It's a good segue. My next takeaway, since the regular season's kind of wrapped up, is I had a list of guys. I got about 12 guys, so just be patient here with me, that I listed as guys that I considered to go above their expectations. So that would exclude guys like RMT, because we came into the season, he's done what we expected, right? Jaden Jackson, he's done what we expected. So this list is guys that have overachieved, kind of where we had them at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to start on the offensive side. And in no particular order, I got Satania, Kanik, Exra, Blaylock, Foji, and Fasusi. Did I leave anyone out that you don't, again, this is a list of guys that overachieved, not just kind of, we knew Burks kind of did what he did, might be a slight disappointment.
We knew Wee-Woo
you know
was
what I mean?
Be one of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
We know Wee-Woos could be good.
Again, Satania, Kanik, X-Rob, Blaylock, and then Foji and Fasusi. Those are the 6 guys. That that's kind of stood out to me.
Ask the chat. Do we leave anybody on offense?
Yeah, exactly.
For, like, surprise?
Yeah, they're always good at finding that one guy that I'm like, oh yeah, forgot about him. But no, I can't. Those are the guys to me that stood out.
I mean,
so Sooner A said maybe
Oh,
EPL.
EPL,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's a good
EPL.
one.
Run. He's probably our
Yep.
best run blocking offensive lineman outside of Wee pass blocking, quite not there. A little unbalanced at times, loses his feet. But yeah, EPL taking that left guard spot, was that expected, Brad? Did you feel like EPL would be
I
taking
thought
that
he was going to
starting left
take
guard
that
spot?
next step, but I didn't know if he was going to be a starter per se. So that's a good name. You could certainly add him to
Yeah.
that other list of 6, but I don't really think we're leaving some people off. We don't want to talk about the Fabechi. We talked about him. He did great yesterday playing center. That's not an easy position just to scoot over and snap, and
No,
he knows all the
it's not.
calls being a guard, so he knows all the calls, but just
Right.
sliding over and snapping the football for whatever 70 or 80 snaps, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do overnight, and it didn't look like they
No.
skipped a
And we
beat.
had 0 snap issues.
Exactly.
0. We had 0 snap issues, and he's our 3rd center. So yeah, big time. I mean, that's a big deal, man.
Yeah, it is. We can't name names without naming the special teams guys. So Sandell and the punter, whose name's escaping me right this second. Come on, Rob. I'm depending on you here. Who's our punter? Somebody's going to chime in before you.
Grayson Miller.
Thank you.
Grayson.
Both of them did. We didn't even know Grayson Miller was going to be our punter, right? And he just shows up and almost.
I don't think so. No.
No,
Yeah.
we did not. He almost averages like 50 yards a punt this year. And then Tate Sandell has not missed a field goal since September 6th, Rob.
Jeez. Man,
that was a minute
wild.
ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
Man, that is wild.
So got them. And defense, here's my, let's see, I got 7 guys listed here. Actually 8. So Halton and Stone to me stood out on that interior this year. Just because of where we expected them to be. I feel like Stone's he's probably had the best year if you compare his expectations. I think he's exceeded those probably more than anybody else on that interior. You already mentioned Taylor Wine at the end position, and then Owen Heineke at linebacker. We didn't really see that coming. So he was probably one of the he's probably one of the bigger surprises at that position for sure. Cortland Guillory, of course, coming in as a freshman and doing what he's done ever since that Auburn game. I just felt like he's played really consistent and has grown up, before our eyes, and is going to be a force for the next couple of years. And then Kendall Daniels and the Bowen brothers.
Oh,
I feel like all those guys have exceeded. And I throw Peyton Bowen and Eli Bowen in there just because Eli's still young. And he's probably been right on par for what we expected. But Peyton, we hadn't seen a full healthy year out of him. And so now that we've been able to see his potential. And to me, he's just kind of, exceeded expectations a little bit. Agree, disagree with any of those guys?
No. It's one of the things that's just interesting about this defense is that, you look at you kind of mentioned how our stats are all kind of spread. There's 19 guys on our defense that are credited with at least a half sack or more. 19. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. I mean, someone mentioned here. I just saw the comment. I was like, yeah, where we play a lot of guys. Like our defense, we play a lot of dudes on defense. We rotate them all through the year. Sooner Ace. They play so many guys on defense, and you got so many guys playing on defense, and you've got 19 different guys with sacks.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, I think on defense,
and another 26 guys with a half TFL or more.
There for a while, we averaged playing 30 guys on defense. 30. I don't know if we maintained that average, but that's a lot of guys on one side of the ball to trust, to just throw out there. We got, and you don't ever, like, anytime someone's on the field, Rob, do you feel like, oh gosh, they're going to pick on him, or they're going to run his way, or you know what I mean? You just don't, not with this defense, because you got, potentially 10 other guys that are always there covering for maybe one guy that busts a play or something. It's just crazy how this defense just maintains this continuity despite all the, substitutions and everything else. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Sooner Cowboy question: is the defense good enough to carry the offense through Notre Dame, Ohio State, etc., to the national championship? Ooh. My immediate response is going to be no, because those teams are very balanced and they have good defenses as well. It's not like they are bad defensively. Can we win? Can we beat Notre Dame at home? Maybe. That'll be another 17-16 type game, if we play them. Ohio State, god dang, I just think they're so good. Could we beat them? Maybe if that freshman Julian Sand throws us a couple of balls during the game, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
But gosh, they're good. Matt Patricia leading that defense. I don't care their schedule. I don't care about their schedule. Everybody's talking about their schedule, Indiana's schedule, not very good. Ohio State's still a good football team. And I can't see us scoring much on a Patricia-led defense. So we would have to keep them, again, under 20 points. If we keep anybody under 20 points, then of course we have a chance. But that gets harder to do as you start playing these better teams. And we played Cam Coleman, but we have not played Jeremiah Smith. He's his own little animal. So I don't know. I think we can win a game, and beyond that, man, I don't know. Which ironically just leads me into last. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the defense is gonna give the offense every opportunity in the world to win a national championship this year. They have been incredibly consistent each and every week. They've played against some of the best offenses in the country through this SEC schedule. They are battle tested. Like, this entire team is battle tested.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna go into these playoffs and just be like, oh no, Notre Dame, oh no, Ohio State.
Sure.
Like, this defense is going to give this offense so many opportunities to win. But they still have to do their job and score the damn ball. Score touchdowns. We have to start getting those touchdowns. I mean, we were just talking about it. We didn't have a single red zone play in this last week. We didn't have a single play in the red zone versus LSU. We were outside of it the whole game. Like that, we have to have more from the offense. There has to. They're gonna have every opportunity to host.
So I answered the question no, because the defense alone cannot win 4 straight games in the playoffs without help from the offense capitalizing on the opportunities that they get. So is this defense is the best in the country. So are they good enough? The answer is yes, but you can't win football games if your offense continues to struggle mightily, to score 6.
And in this last game, our offense was pretty good. They had one of their best drives in the last several weeks. That we had 11 play, 53-yard drive that 5 minutes, and we went and scored a field goal. We should have scored a touchdown, but we scored a field goal. Mm-hmm. We haven't had 11 play, 50+ yard drive in since South Carolina. We had We had a drive in Tennessee, but X-Rob fumbled the ball. We had one. Let's see, we had one in Ole Miss, 7 plays, 60 yards that ended up with a touchdown. But besides that, we have not really been good at just driving the ball and scoring a touchdown. Like that has been like we're the looking for that 87-yard
Yeah.
explosive play by Sigtegna, basically.
Yeah. This comment, he's saying this as you're saying this as he's
Oh,
typing. So
that's funny.
yeah, exactly. No, we just, golly,
Yeah.
we can't. You can win a couple of games that way defensively, and man, yes, this defense is good enough to win football games, but this offense, and someone said this, which I completely agree with. You got 3
Yes.
weeks off here.
Plenty of time.
You do have 3 weeks to figure it
Plenty
out.
of time.
And you know what?
Plenty of
What
time.
if Mateer? I don't know. What if Mateer starts going to meditation, and all of a sudden he comes out and he gets his head straight? If he gets his head straight and
Like,
his
with
feet
some like
and his
Aaron
feet
Rodgers
straight,
dark room.
yeah, whatever. I don't care how he does it, Rob. If he can get his head straight and find a way to, I don't know how you do it necessarily. I don't know how you break old habits in 3 weeks. I get it. But if he can somehow slow the game down, start going through his progressions all of a sudden, then we're a handful for anybody. There isn't anyone out there that looks at us and says, "Oh, I want to play OU," because
No.
our defense is nasty. And
Yep.
I don't think anybody wants to see us on their schedule. I don't, but there's a lot of defenses that would be excited to play our offense right now. So there's that too.
Yeah. I mean, coming out of this LSU game, like that drive in the first quarter, second quarter, like we actually, it just felt like we got back to our own self, and then we just let it fall apart again. And what we need is to have that type of drive like 3 or 4 times in a game.
Yep.
We're winning, especially with Sandell with his leg and this defense giving you short fields.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're going to end up having 5 to 6 scoring opportunities a game. Convert some of those field goals to touchdowns, we're rolling. I mean, it's not even like we're surviving. We would be dominating a good game.
Right.
Like and really the last time we've seen a complimentary game was South Carolina, where offense and defense just did both of their jobs. They were driving down the field, scoring a touchdown. Defense holds a 3 and out. Offense flips the field. Like it was a good complimentary game. We got to get back to that, and we've got 3 weeks. Like Sunray said, we've got plenty of time.
We do.
But this LSU game, I mean, watching back on the rewatch, I mean, we had some great plays. Like, I mean,
Right.
what did we finish at here? We had, let's see, we had 400 yards of offense nearly. I mean, coming out of it, like we found some great explosive plays. Like I said, we had a great drive there. I think when we look, it was the first quarter. My bad. First quarter, third drive, 11 plays, 53 yards, 5 minutes, and a field goal. That's the kind of drives that we want, is the drives where we're taking time of possession, we're keeping the opposing defense on the field. That if we get those drives together where we're taking time off the clock, it rests our defense and it puts their defense into a bind in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And if you do the little things right and that defense is tired, that's where you start finding those explosives to just ice the game. It's been 4 straight weeks the defense has iced the game. It's time for the offense to find themselves in the playoffs, and then they be the ones to take the game over.
Yeah.
That would be obviously dream scenario, but.
And you said it before we jumped on the pod, Rob, but we didn't have one snap inside the red zone yesterday.
No.
Not one snap.
None.
That's not going to cut it. It's just not.
No.
Both those plays were outside the 40-yard line. I think the Burks and the Satania touchdown. But yeah,
yep.
I do like, if we played next weekend, I would be very concerned about the offense and the fact that we're still, a pretty banged up team right now. Not that everybody's not this time of year, but we just have some pretty crucial guys out right now, whether it's RMT, Macula, I forget how you say his name. X-Rob's still banged up. We're just not healthy enough for there to be a game next weekend, fortunately. So kind of glad we're not playing in the SEC championship because, that's another game just to get, beat up before the playoffs start. So I wanted to make the playoffs and not play in it, and here we are. So we get the full 3 weeks off, get healthy, find some continuity, whatever Arbuckle and Mateer have to do to, find a way to score if we score another 10 points, let's just say another 7 points a game. If we average 24 points a game, if I told you we average 24 points a game throughout the playoffs, what chance do you give us to win a title?
We're winning. Like, we're winning.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the razor thin margin that we are at. But if we can convert a field goal to a touchdown, we're winning like comfortably. Because because you have to think when you're also up on these teams as the time is draining out, they have to change their playback. Like their playbook changes, their calls change, and they become more predictable. This defense has not had that opportunity. The playbook has always been wide open because they can pretty much run wherever the hell they want. But if you start, taking it to them, and then you start limiting their playback, become more predictable, then the defense goes back out there and takes the ball away. They're just gonna be that good. So close.
You don't want to face Brent in a predictable situation. You and I were both watching the game yesterday, late in the game. I don't know if it was the 4th down call or a 3rd down call, but we're watching the game and Brent's grinning on the sidelines. Like he knows what's coming. You and I both saw it. He was grinning.
Oh, he knew.
He
loved it.
He knew what was coming. He knew his play call. And he just looked as happy as can be over there, just waiting for the ball to be snapped. He is, man. He's got a way of not getting in the other team's head, but getting in the other team's playbook, so to speak. How Kiffin made his remarks before that Ole Miss game and stuff like that they need to change up their calls and all that good stuff. But yeah, he was prepared. They had the right call. Fortunately, Bowen made a play. I don't know if that guy was running open or not on that last play of the game, but yeah, he just looks like a guy over there having fun, very confident in his calls and his team executing them right now. It's spot on right now and just impressive to watch.
It just looks like he wouldn't want it any other way than his defense to be on the field to win the game. Like he will take that every time. It's just even if the offense was scoring 50 points a game, he would want his defense out there on the field. And when he's sitting there grinning on the sideline, like he's having fun when it's game on the line and the opposing offense is like knocking on the door on a scoring opportunity to go win the game, he's got this big old smile on his face, knowing that he's got him. And then he does game over. So that was cool to see.
Yeah. I see a comment here. It says lower your offensive expectations to 17 points and focus on the defense elevating. No, I don't want to lower my offensive expectations. I want them to score more. It's not.
To his point though, I would bet that with playoff football, with the board reset, all teams are 0-0, and you have 4 wins to get to win a national championship. I do expect this defense to go to another level. Playoff football is completely different. The physical play, everything about it goes to a whole nother level. Like everything changes. And
It's
I
it's
expect this
impressive if we
defense
have
to
another
be.
level, Rob.
I do. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
insane. You're gonna get. We've been out with RMT without him for what 3 weeks now.
Yep.
He comes back. He's gonna have another 3 weeks worth of rest. He comes back, and I just think this defense is on a mission, man. Like
Yeah.
I just they know they have to play. I mean, to TPG, like they do know and understand that their offense is not very good, and they do
Mhm.
know that if this title on the line 4 games, I do expect some really physical defensive play that we've haven't seen. Probably got to go back to maybe like Auburn as like where it was just like sack galore, 7, 8
Yeah.
sacks. We didn't get
Yeah.
sacks in this last game.
No.
We ended up with 0 sacks. I think they're gonna go in the playoffs, and I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. I mean, our offense is gonna be given every opportunity to beat all these great playoff teams, and the defense is gonna do their job. So, but I do expect a little bit of elevation for the defense. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Uh, is if you were to if you were to rank some of the toughest teams to face in the playoffs, I'm going to give you an overrated team, a team that you like, and that you said would kind of be a wild card, make a run, and they did. A&M, who did you see their schedule now that the season's over?
Yes.
So they went
Yeah.
7-1 in
It-
conference, and their 7 wins were against the bottom 8 teams in the SEC, and then they lost to Texas.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm okay playing a team like A&M. So who's your most feared? If you could pick 4 teams, let's just say 4.
4.
Yep.
Okay.
That you would not want to
me-
face.
Let me.
I know I'm putting you on the spot.
let me
You're
put up
probably
a
trying to
graphic
pull it
real
up,
quick.
aren't you? Yeah. Let's just throw Ohio State in.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna pull up
that's
the
a gimme.
bracket. That way we kind of. Give me a second. Let me pull up a graphic real quick. That way we
Okay.
all can kind of look at the landscape.
Okay. Got it.
There we go.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. I mean, this is 5 days ago, and of course it's probably changed a little. If I'll give you 2 teams that I want to play. Or
Okay.
a few teams I would want to play. I want to play Notre
Yeah.
Dame. I want to
Yep.
play Indiana. I want to play Miami, Tulane. I would probably. Alabama doesn't scare me either. Ole Miss now is pretty much dead in the water with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
So you've got Georgia, and ones I don't want to play until the end.
Mhm.
Like I want to have an extra week, right? Because
Right.
don't we still get an extra week of prep
That sounds
for
right.
the national championship?
Yeah, if it's either a week or like 10 days in between the semifinal and the final, something like that.
Yeah. So I want Brent to have an extra week, and really, I'm not worried about Brent. I'll take that back. Give an extra week of prep for Ben Arbuckle
There you-
and the offensive
you go.
staff to be ready. I would want to see either Ohio State or Georgia at the end.
Mhm.
Texas Tech, I don't want to pull Texas Tech. I don't know why. Again,
Yeah.
they
I know.
have all that money that went to defense. Their
Yep.
sack artists. I think the sack artists on their defensive line versus our offensive line, with our passing or with our strength of the offense being passing, that is a mismatch. I don't like that one. But so those are the 3 teams that Tech, Ohio State, and Georgia. I'm not. Let's see, like Oregon. I think we could get Oregon too. So
Yeah.
those are the
yeah.
3 teams that I would.
Yeah,
Georgia
I'm
has
not.
gotten better and better each week.
Yeah, I'm
Georgia has
not.
gotten better and better. And Ohio State knows how to win. Ohio
Mhm.
State's been there. They were
Mhm.
there last year. They know how to win. They know Ryan Day and his staff that he's put together, always a good staff. Players have been there. They know the process. They know, the mentality that it's going to take to win a championship. I don't want to play them early. I want to play them late.
Right.
Georgia, I want to play late. So
I don't disagree with your teams there. The good thing about it is there's a lot of teams that are gettable this year. You threw Indiana out pretty quickly as a team you don't mind playing, and we're going to see how good they are next week when they play the Buckeyes.
they haven't.
The
They
Buckeyes
haven't
may
beat the
expose
Buckeyes.
them
Buckeyes haven't.
completely.
They haven't.
Yeah,
Indiana hasn't beaten Ohio State in 37 years. So until that happens, I am not going to worry about them. They'll go prove it. If they can beat them, then maybe I'll be watching that game. But 37 years. Can you imagine if OU didn't beat somebody for 37 years and they played them pretty much every year? I mean, come on.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I think I think Indiana it might be a little overrated sitting there at 2 and 3 and 4. I think they're
yeah.
really more like a 9 and 10 team.
Yeah. Well, if Ohio State beats them like they should next weekend, then that should bump Indiana down a few spots. But I think when the dust settles after the conference championship games next weekend, I think you're going to see Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, which makes the most sense. So if that happens, and then things stay like they are now, if we're still an 8 seed, then we're going to have to match up with number 1. That second round, and Ohio State will be staring us right in the face. Going to Columbus, Rob, we could potentially go to Columbus our second round game.
Is the second round not a bowl game?
Maybe
I'm
those are bowl
I
games. Just the first round, you're right, are the ones where people host, and then it's all bowl games. Yes, you're right. Rose Bowl.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I looked this morning. That's a Rose Bowl matchup if we were to play Ohio State. So
I would rather, man. I wish we could get moved up to 6 or just drop to 11 and play A&M or Indiana.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I would love a Notre Dame home game. I mean, Notre Dame because
there's
tailgate party again, man. Bonus tailgate, hell yeah.
There could be the ultimate situation. There could be the ultimate situation next Saturday if you have Alabama. Let's just say Ohio State, Alabama, Ohio State win and Tech loses. Or maybe not even. I don't know. I just see a situation where we can move up another spot or two. If Tech loses to, do they play BYU? Things get a little interesting there, because then you might have 2 Big 12 teams in. Then what happens? Does Bama, who gets pushed out? So I start to get a little concerned a little bit if some of the higher seeds start losing. That's when I feel like we could slide potentially to 9 and have to go on the road for that first game. So I'm sort of pulling for the favorites this week, just so everything just kind of holds serve.
Yeah, me too.
And we'll see what happens from there. And Tulane, it may be, what is it, North Texas, and someone else can slide into that number 12 spot. Tulane, their coach is getting ready to move to Auburn like expected, right? Is it Auburn or Florida?
Florida.
Okay.
He's going to Florida.
Yep. I couldn't keep track. I just, all the Kiffin news, I kind of lost track of the other jobs. It sounds like we haven't talked about the coaching changes. And I know you need to get to maybe a stat and a play here in a second, but coaching changes, Ole Miss may name Golding as their permanent coach. Did you see that comment?
I think they did.
They already did? Okay.
I think they did already.
So that was kind of interesting. They didn't even
go 3
outside
hours
of the
ago.
program. Yeah.
No, that's good for them. That it'll help keep the
continuity a little
players.
Bit. Yeah.
And then there was I don't know. There's some drama all there with at Ole Miss. I don't care. I feel if I was in Kiffin's shoes, I probably would have finished the season.
Well, he tried.
He tried?
Yeah, he wanted to finish the season, but I think the Ole Miss AD hadn't wanted nothing to do with it and said, no, you can't.
Wow.
That's the way I understood it. And
Wow.
you gotta put
Drama.
you gotta put the college and the ADs. Yeah, Ole Miss told him to go.
Wow.
Someone put so I get it, and we've been burned before, so I can totally understand Ole Miss's position because you
Yeah.
got not a lame duck coach, but you got a coach that's basically saying he's going elsewhere. He's recruiting all of his players
Yeah.
to follow
Yeah.
him. That's just a weird situation. And this time of year, when you make a coaching change, it's just so weird. He's a Tiger now. Lane Kitten. I like it.
He's a Tiger now. Marco, he's a Tiger now, so we can call him Lane Kitten.
That's great. Yeah. There were some pretty good AI images going around today. I sent you one earlier, Rob. It was Brent's the Tiger King.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it
The
shows the
Tiger
three
King.
Tigers. It's got Auburn, Missouri, and LSU little
Heck yeah.
tags on them. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would love to go after Chambliss. I don't know about Van Buren, but Chambliss I would definitely go after.
So here's a question from Marco. Which of the
okay.
teams is best at running the outside zone? Texas and Bears used run defense the 2 years with it. It seems that it could be Venables' Achilles heel. Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
I knew
Jeremiah
Rob would
Love.
have that answer like that.
Jeremiah Love is the second or first tailback, running back, in outside zone, according to SIS. I had a Substack post about Missouri's Amon Hardy, and he was around like 4th and 5th. But Jeremiah Love, I mean, he's just fantastic at everything. I don't know how many yards he's ran for this year.
A lot.
I think it's like a lot.
Yep.
So they can do everything from the gap scheme, but outside zone, Jeremiah Love, I believe, is the first or second in yards, EPA efficiency, and explosive plays. He also has he's like top 5 or so in missed tackles in outside zone, which is the whole point of running it. So yeah, Notre Dame, I still like that matchup because our run defense is their strength, and I don't think they're as balanced with the throwing the football, and I think we could really do some damage to Notre Dame offense. But Jeremiah Love is a stud, man.
Yeah, and you're not wrong here, Rob. I just pulled it up. These are just rushing yards. So he's fourth.
Yep, there you go.
Fourth in rushing yards, and we've played number 3 and number 5 this year.
Yep.
Which was Hardy and Lacey.
Yep.
So he's right there with them too.
Yeah, Notre Dame likes their outside their wide zone stuff, but they also run a whole lot of counter too. I mean, they've got a great rushing attack. It's gonna be really fun to watch that in the offseason. So
right. Do we want to get to some stats and film? I know you're not feeling good, so I don't want to keep you, man. If you're
no,
you let me know because I know you're under the weather.
We've got what's planned on next Sunday? We can do a whole look on the regular season offense, just like what the playbook is and what we've got on it, and then I can also. I mean, we're talking about red zone offense. Let me bring that up, and that could be a good segue into next Sunday. So let me pull up this. This is college football stats. Where's it at? There we go. So, Brad, you and I were kind of listening to the broadcast and about how OU's red zone offense is like number 1 in the country in score percentage in red zone.
There's an asterisk behind that.
Go ahead. Like, that is a well, yeah. I mean, it's we've got So let's look at conference play for one. And again, they're number 1 in the country with 16 attempts in the red zone. Scored 10 touchdowns, 6 field goals. it looks pretty good, but watching watching the tape as much as we do, like I was like, that doesn't seem right. Like I don't know why the broadcast was talking about that, and I don't
Mhm.
want there to be really much misinformation because Oklahoma doesn't really get to the red zone very often,
That's right.
like very often at all. So looking at based on attempts, like the number of attempts of the offense going into the red zone, Ohio State and Texas Tech, the two teams I don't like for us to play,
Mhm.
are tied for first in the country with 47 attempts. Texas Tech doesn't really punch it in it has 87%, and then Ohio State has 91% score. I mean, that's pretty good.
Right.
For OU,
Mm.
you're gonna have to
Scroll
scroll
a while. Yep.
all the way down. Again, this is conference play.
Oh my goodness.
Oklahoma ranks 129th in the country with 16 red zone attempts. So yeah, we score when we get to the red zone, but we're not getting into the red zone very often. And so most of our red zone offense is just our offense once we cross the 40-yard line getting into scoring opportunity, it's like 47, 46%, and then we're getting into the red zone very few times. So
Y-
129th out of
Yeah.
134 teams.
Yeah. And you see there, Kent State is better than us at doing that. They are a few spots ahead of us. So that just tells you all you
Yeah,
need to know.
so even if you like oh man.
Leave it right there a second. Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
sorry.
Well, I was just
Yeah.
going to say, so yeah, Ohio State, Texas Tech, what they have in common. Offensively, they're very efficient, especially when they get in the red zone, but they have good defenses too. So you're right. Either one of those teams would be a tough matchup. So the team that's closest to them is Ole Miss, the only team, in the top 10 there that we've actually faced. And guess what? They scored 32 points against us.
Yeah.
That was
30
by far
Yeah, something.
32-28 or something. I forgot final score of that game.
Yeah,
But
it was over 30. I think it was 34 maybe or 31.
that sounds
I
right,
can't remember.
34-28. But yeah, so both those teams would be a handful for us, obviously, if we end up facing them. I actually
Yeah.
think our defense has gotten quite a bit better since that Ole Miss game, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It has. And that's what I'm saying. I think once we get to playoffs, I think we're going to see another level. I'll go ahead and do that one play.
Yeah.
Let me see where I've got it. So again, like we mentioned a couple times, is that our offense doesn't get into the red zone very often, and from my book, we have not got into we didn't get into the red zone at all versus LSU, and this is as closest as we got, sitting at the 21-yard line. And this is a 3rd and 5, first quarter, ball in the 21, clock 4 minutes in. I'm just gonna let it play. So I'm gonna kind of go nitpicking quite a bit. Brad and I talked about it, and he told me I was nitpicking a little bit, but there's so where what I would call this play is that this is your typical red zone Y corner play where we're trying to get our third inside receiver Canic to attack this front pylon. And there's a couple of things I do know that this is Y corner or a cousin to stick, which like air raid philosophy, stick, quick game. You've got your Y corner is your red zone cousin to it, where you're trying to take advantage of man coverage. So we're technically, even though we're a 21-yard line, we are not getting a credit for a red zone opportunity. It's pretty much red zone. When you get into red zone, you're going to get one of two things from the defense. You're either going to get 3 deep, where they're going to have cover 3, and they're going to get you to throw underneath. They're going to have a no cover zone on the first 5 yards, and they're going to want you to take that stick play, right? They want you to throw underneath and they'll tackle rally. In this, the other way a defense plays mostly in red zone is they'll just play man free. And this is what that is. They're going to bring pressure. They're bringing pressure and they're going to play man coverage, just man free everywhere. So you see LSU, they're sending 7. You catch the other ID on Y corner is that this usually the next receiver 2 replaces the stick. So that's what Satana's doing here. He's he's essentially running in same exact spacing as stick, but you're getting your stick player normally in a normal stick call to run a corner route. You're gonna try to get him. You're gonna try to get the defense flowing with the blitz, and then you're gonna run a stick spot, and then you're gonna run corner behind it, and they get exactly the coverage that they want. We're getting man free. It is Kanik versus the safety, and he rounds out, and he is trying to basically run essentially a sail instead of a corner. He's sailing it, so he is rounding out his corner, and he's trying to get to this front pylon. I mean, all of this screams this is Y corner, air raid, true air raid type Y corner. But what they did is that they changed that route. Instead of an actual corner, he sailed it. Now, let me kind of, there are two ways that air raid guys, one is that this corner route, after the 4th step, cuts. The other is let me show you this first. So, got a lot of drawings. So on his 4th step, which went right there, that's his 4th step. Mummy, Leech, all true air raid guys in the high school level, especially at the high school level, because it keeps it really simple for the kids. You stick on that 4th step and you cut inside. If they would have done that instead of trying to do kind of a sail to that pylon, Kanik's speed, this safety ain't getting there. It's an easy 6. Easy 6. Like, he cuts right there, and you've got to probably, the throw would probably be right here outside of the numbers, and then he would just ran right in. The second way some of these coaches teach it is you're using the same language as some of your middle of the field read calls, where your receiver reads the safety, gets up on his feet, like he should go all the way up to his feet and make him plant his feet, and then you cut to the corner. And that way, once you get that defender on his heels, it's just my speed, your speed, and then the play would have been probably right here, but the guy would have been way out here, and Mateer would have an easier throw. Everything about this, I mean, Kanik is being coached this. Mateer is being coached to put the ball right where in that spot, but I just don't like the idea of taking my 4-4 guy, having him round out his route, allowing the safety to work over the top of him, and then he's 6'2", not 6'5", like some of these other tight ends that can go up and make this play. I mean, everything, like, they executed it exactly the way it is coached. I just don't like the way that they coached it.
Right.
Being nitpicking,
Yeah.
but I much rather steal from the Leech and the air raid type, and you keep it simple, just like every high school team in America runs this play. And on his 4th step right here, he is driving to the pylon's probably more like here. So like his cut would have been like this. And he's turning his head and looking for the ball on his 3rd step after the cut. And he would have been walking into the end zone. And this is the kind of stuff that when I saw this on the broadcast, I was like, oh, at first I thought it was like a China play but I was like, oh no, this is Y corner. And I watched the replay and I'm like, why is he rounding out his route? Like, he loses all of his momentum, and like rounding it out into the guy who's can just, I'll just draw it real quick. So you're rounding it out like in a circle, right? He's just going in a straight line. So of course he's going to be able to undercut it. That's why they teach the 4-step cut. That way, you've got a more of a beat on the spacing out here, out to the feet to the pylon. Anyway,
Yeah, no,
that play bothered me.
Yeah, I'm with you, and they don't, Canic's built different. Just like you said, he's not a 6'5" tight end, so he can't go in there and just body some guy up and shield him for a catch. So they don't utilize Canic. They don't utilize his speed well for a lot of the routes. It's traditional tight end routes,
right.
not some guy that's got track speed, which, like you said, if he would just be more precise and cut his routes a lot quicker, he gets separation easily.
Yeah, I mean, this is his 4-step. I mean, there's no way once he cuts that this safety is going to be able to work over or undercut it. Like it's a lot about passing game is about spacing. It's about angles, and they taught him to run this route that way to that pylon. They taught Mateer to throw it up high because they know probably playing against our defense, Peyton Bowen would be sitting here and he would be undercutting that thing over and over again. I guarantee you that. And so that's the way that they decided to go. And I'm like, you had it set up perfectly, and I just don't think it was coached right. If there's coaches in the chat, you tell me what you think, but I think you do it very simple, 4-step cut inside, and that's a touch. That's an easy 6, easy. Anyway, that was the one play that bothered me.
Yeah, no, missed opportunities. How many times have we said that, the last 8 weeks of this season or whatever, but just a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah, it's the,
no red zone. Yep.
Yeah, you could easily, a lot about building a playbook is having the same language and having this the pedagogology and everything all fused together. That way, when you're coaching your players and you can be multiple with your calls. I know Ben Arbuckle has middle of the field reads. I see him all the time. I don't know why you couldn't do it there as well, where you have Canic press against that safety, get that safety to get back on his heels, and then you cut to that corner, and it's off the races. Now it's a different ball because you're gonna have to kind of arc it to that back pylon, but I say you could have kept it simple, 4-step cut, get to that pylon, done. But
yeah, no, this is the OU offense is the ultimate, wild card here, I guess you could say. If for some reason, light comes on, or all of a sudden in 3 weeks you find something, whether it's, Mateer's confidence, Arbuckle, sticking to the run a little more consistent, whatever it is in the next 3 weeks. It's the ultimate wild card, because if the offense gets better, all of a sudden we become a contender overnight. Not that we're not a contender, but you know what I mean? All of a sudden you can put us in the same conversation as some of those other teams that you mentioned.
Yep. That's all I got, offense, man.
Yeah. No, it's 3 weeks. We'll know our opponent next Sunday. Hopefully it's a home game. We can do some more tailgating. Great job on the tailgate yesterday, by the way. Those who showed up got to enjoy. You brought your big pot. We had shrimp boil yesterday, just some shrimp, sausage, potatoes, corn, just all that good, nice Cajun themed tailgate for the LSU game, and it lived up to its billing. I didn't need to eat dinner last night because I ate so much.
I know.
it was good stuff. Yeah. So good job on that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a bonus tailgate with a Notre Dame home game or some sort of home game with somebody. Get a bonus tailgate.
Yep.
I was just trying to think what we could do, and I was thinking maybe chili if it's super cold here in 3 weeks.
Plenty of Irish beer that day too.
There you go.
I'm not a fan.
Guinness and Harp.
Yeah. And hey, we mentioned it earlier, but recruiting, the early signing day is, I think it's like a 3-day thing. So I think it's Wednesday through Friday, like the 3rd through the 5th next week. So if you're needing some information on recruiting, go find the Football Brainiacs Oklahoma edition. Charlie and the guys out there and James will keep you up to date on all the latest recruiting news. So go find them this week. Be a great time to become a member. And don't forget, make sure you get the donor edition and you can get all that up-to-date information. Yeah, absolutely. Corned beef I mentioned corned beef the other day to you, Rob. Yeah, corned beef and is it haggis too?
I didn't listen.
What's the other thing? Of course you didn't.
Haggis?
Yeah. There's a couple. I don't know if haggis is the right thing, but there's a couple of good.
Haggis.
Yeah,
is
green beer, of
the
course.
Sheep's pluck. Oh, green beer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
great ideas. I'm not
Yep.
gonna lie. That we could totally do that.
We could do all
Corned
that.
beef and cabbage. I can do that. Green beer. Yeah.
Yeah, we do what works. I know it sounds like we're catering
be-
to the team we're playing.
I
but
really want to play Notre Dame.
It's yeah, exactly. But yeah, hopefully we can take some of this winning momentum and still a couple of recruits here this week. We knew it was kind of going to be an off year just because of the 6 and 7 season last year, and we've had a hard time catching up in the recruiting realms. But we've done a good job here of late. So if we can flip a couple of guys here at the end and, maybe have somewhere in that 11 to 15 recruiting class, I think it's okay. But 2027 is already looking great. If you don't follow recruiting, just go check out recruiting rankings. I think we're top 5 or better next year for the 2027 class. So we're taking a lot of this momentum and on the recruiting trail with us. So if you don't have anything else, Rob, we can wrap things up here and you can go take your cold medicine, take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate all the comments. We're forgetful at times, so you are really good at filling in the blanks. So enjoy the 10 wins, enjoy the playoff berth, and hopefully we can go keep the season going here in a few weeks. Take care, everybody. Boomer.